Hey everyone, and welcome to Farming Simulator 25. Right now, I'm on the flat map. There's absolutely nothing here. No fields, no buildings, no machinery. My starting equipment is just a scythe, a wheelbarrow, and a shovel. And with that, I have to build a whole farm from scratch. Oh, and my balance? $0. Sounds like a challenge. And that's exactly what I'm about to take on. If you're curious how this will go, support the video with a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. This is part 2. You can watch part 1 from the link in the description or from the card up top. Some time has passed since the last part. Now it's time to work the fields again and plant a new crop. Can't just leave the field empty without a harvest. But I want to add a special new field as well. You'll find out what it's for a little later. First, I'll work the older fields. I grab the cultivator and drive out to start cultivating. The cultivator mixes the leftover stubble from the previous harvest with the soil and loosens it up to prepare for seeding. Done. Both fields are cultivated. Let's sow canola again. I take the seeder and get to work. Done. The fields are seeded with canola. Now, on to the new field and my new idea. To start, I want to make a field right here. Like before, I take the plow and start working. I want it to be bigger than both of my old fields combined. Of course, if I have enough patience. I worked almost 2 hours and ended up with this result. It looks very big, but it's actually about the same size as my 2 old fields put together. It's just long and narrow. Perfect. Now time to reveal my plan. I want to plant cotton on this field. But the most interesting part of that, I'll tell you a little later. By the way, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. For cotton, my seeder won't work. You need a planter instead. And here's where my plan hit a snag. Not really a fail, just postponed for now. First, planters are quite expensive, and I can only afford the cheapest one. But the biggest problem is power. The smallest planter requires at least 150 horsepower, and my tractor only has 115 horsepower. So I'll have to upgrade to a more powerful tractor first. Since right now my income mostly comes from the greenhouses and sheep, and of course the canola harvest I just finished, I'll have to wait a few months. Some time has passed. Products have accumulated in the greenhouses, and so has the goat milk. But the main thing, the selling price for canola has gone up. So let's sell everything. I'll start with the canola because you're probably waiting for that most. I take the trailer, load up the canola, and drive to sell it. I got $46,000 for it, almost exactly what I expected. Great. Now let's sell the lettuce, which has also built up quite a bit. I earned $240,000 from the lettuce. Very cool. Definitely time to increase the number of greenhouses. And now, the goat milk. There's quite a bit of it too. $125,000. Very good. Now that all the products are sold, it's time for my first major purchase. I want to upgrade my tractor. First, I sell the old one for $28,000. I took a small loss, but it helped me a lot. Then, I bought this tractor for $260,000. Pretty expensive, but it's a big, powerful, and modern machine. I hope it will last me a long time. I'm really impressed with it. Now I get to put it to work right away. The goats are out of grass, so I need to mow some and bring it to them. I hook up the mower and the trailer and go cut the grass. It's incredible how easily this new tractor handles the task. After just a few minutes, the trailer is full. They now have enough feed for several months. By the way, the baby goats have grown a bit too. Now, I wanted to plant cotton, but I missed the planting season. No worries, I'll leave the field idle for now and plant cotton next time. With the money I have, I decided to add more greenhouses and build another sheep barn. I bought 26 goats with the remaining funds. Now, just like before, I need to bring them some grass. I grab the tractor, mow the grass, unload it, and done. As always, now we wait. And then I remembered. I forgot to fertilize the fields. Without it, the harvest will be smaller. So I need to quickly fertilize the canola while I still can. I grab the tractor and the sprayer and get to work. Done. The fields are fertilized. Now I can sleep peacefully. Summer has arrived. The canola is ready to harvest. So let's get started. I take the combine harvester, drive to the field, and begin. The first hopper is full. Time to unload. Then back to the field to keep working. After some time, the harvest is complete. This time I got 16,000 units of canola. Not bad. Now I can rest a bit while waiting for the cotton season. But something else happened. The trees grew. They're already big and ready to be cut. But first, I need money for equipment and tools. So let's sell the products. As always, lettuce first and then goat milk. Also, for part of the money, I spent $20,000. I upgraded my trailer to carry more products. I got $330,000 for the lettuce. That's a huge amount. Very impressive. For the goat milk, I received $324,000. Also great. Back to the trees. I want to turn the trees into lumber, and for that, I need to buy a sawmill. So I bought one for $300,000. This is essentially my first serious production business. The greenhouses are production too, but they're more agricultural. This is real manufacturing. Now I need to start cutting the trees. For that, I bought a chainsaw for $1,000. You might say, just go chop the trees. But wait, there's still the issue of hauling the wood to the sawmill. So I also bought a winch for the tractor for $22,000. It lets me hook the trees and drag them. So, let's get to work. While I'm cutting trees, let me say this. If you like my videos and want to support me financially, you can become a channel member through the link in the video description. It helps me buy more coffee and make more videos for you. Thanks. Oh, how I love this long and painstaking work. But the sawmill is full. Immediately I start production. I'll make all kinds of products. I think that will be best. But the trees are not done yet. Even though not all the trees are cut, I decided to create a small forest for myself. So I grab the planter and start planting trees. Let them grow, because I want to expand this business. Done. The trees are planted. Well, big profits are waiting for my farm. Besides that, I need to plant something on these 2 fields. This time, I decided to plant wheat for variety. But first, the fields need to be prepared for planting. So I grab the cultivator and go cultivate both fields. Done. Now I can sow wheat. But I want to upgrade my seeder. So I sell my old one for $1,000 and buy this big seeder for $120,000. Why is it so expensive? First, it's wide, and second, it can plant directly right after previous sowing. In other words, it has a built-in cultivator. So it turns out I cultivated the fields for nothing. And one more thing, it fertilizes the field immediately. Of course, I also bought seeds and fertilizer. Loaded everything up, drove to the field, and got to work. Now this is cool. It's much bigger than my old seeder and performs many tasks at once. After a few dozen minutes, the wheat is sown. Now just waiting. But this time, I need to remember to fertilize the second layer when the wheat emerges. Finally, it's time to return to cotton planting. It's time to buy a planter. I bought this one for $70,000. Also bought cotton seeds for $1,200. Now, I just need to wait until it's time to plant cotton. Meanwhile, it's the same time to apply the second layer of fertilizer on the wheat fields. So, I grab the sprayer and get to work. Done. By the way, the sawmill is in full production, but of course production costs money. As you may have noticed, since production started, I have already spent $20,000 on the sawmill's maintenance and operation. And now, it's time to plant cotton. I take the planter, drive to the field, and start working. Done! The entire field is planted. But now it's not just about waiting for the harvest to grow. I've got a challenge coming. First, a combine harvester for cotton costs this much, and I'll need to buy one before the cotton is ready. Second, I'll have to build a clothing production facility. Yes, I want to start making clothes. But let's not rush. When the time comes, we'll talk about it. Finally, I bought a pressure washer. It cost $4,000. Of course, I immediately cleaned the tractor and the planter. They had gotten really dirty. Done. Much better now. Some time has passed. The sawmill ran out of wood. That's because I turned on all the production lines and the wood got used up fast. Here's how much material I got. Let's see how much money a fully loaded sawmill of wood brings in. I took the trailer and drove to sell the boards. I'll start with the long planks. I'll set everything else aside for now. I earned $130,000 for those. Great. Now let's sell the wood chips since they've been unloaded from the sawmill. But I can't sell them here, so I'll need to build a biomass heating plant that converts wood chips into electricity. I installed it next to the sawmill for $36,000. I got $24,000 for the wood chips. Awesome, considering it's just production waste. Next, I sold the wood beams for $114,000. Only planks and prefab walls left. Starting with the planks. I got $122,000 for those. And the prefab walls brought in $150,000. Awesome! So if you add it all up, a full sawmill load nets me $540,000. But subtract $80,000 I spent on production upkeep, and my net is $460,000. Really cool. Forestry work is pretty profitable. Of course, it takes a lot of time and effort. Oops, looks like I've got some minor trouble behind me. Let me know in the comments if it reaches my farm or if it passes by. Now it's time again to sell products from the greenhouses and the goat milk. I'm afraid to imagine how much product has built up since I haven't sold in a while. Let's start with the lettuce. I got $600,000 for the lettuce. That's a huge amount and very good. Now onto the goat milk. I made $300,000 from it. Cool. My balance is already over $1 million. That means I'm officially a millionaire. Well, since money's flowing, let's spend some. First, I buy this cotton combine harvester for $485,000. Of course, I don't need it just yet, but this way I'm confident I'll harvest the crop on time. Next, I get this forestry machine for $353,000. As you remember, I had to cut trees into two pieces before because the winch couldn't pull them easily. Now this machine makes things much simpler since its winch can easily drag several full trees at once. And now the most important thing, I always need grass for the goats. Before I mowed grass exactly enough to fill the sheep sheds. But now I want to prepare grass bales in advance so I don't have to run the mower every time. So I buy a baler for $175,000. I also purchased a set of mowers for my tractor for $88,000. Let's get to work. I hook up the mowers and head out to cut grass. Done. This is how much grass I mowed. Now time to make bales from it. I hook up the baler and start. The process is simple. The pickup gathers the grass from the ground, then it gets compressed into a bale inside the machine. The finished bale drops out the back. The bales are made. The easiest part is left, gathering them from the field. So I grab the trailer and get to it. Now I deliver the bales to the goats. I even built this shed for the bales for $49,000 and unload everything inside. In total, I got 56 bales. Not bad at all. The goats now have enough grass for a long time. And of course, I decide to expand animal farming a bit. I add another sheep shed for $97,000 and buy more goats for $56,000. The only important thing left is not to forget to bring them grass. Done. So right now I have 272 goats. I think for now I can pause the growth of my livestock business a little. So since almost everything else is done, there's only one thing left: forestry. I need to cut down trees for the sawmill. Let's do it. Look how easily this machine pulls the trees. Incredible. It looks insanely epic. Done! The sawmill is full again, which means it will start producing goods. One tree didn't fit, but that's fine. Now I can finally relax. Or not. I forgot something. Adding the second layer of fertilizer to the cotton field. But I also really want to upgrade the sprayer at last. So I bought this one for $35,000, along with an extra fertilizer tank. It's twice as wide and way more modern than my old one. Now I hook up the sprayer, load it with fertilizer, and get to work. Now every job is truly finished, and I can take a break. While I was resting, the wheat ripened and is ready to harvest. So let's bring it in. I hop into the combine harvester and get to work. The first field is done. I unload the grain and head to the next field. Done. The wheat is harvested. Altogether, I got 23,000 units of wheat. Not bad. I also still have unsold canola. I'll need to sell everything in winter when prices are good. Fall has arrived and the long-awaited moment is finally here. The cotton is grown and is ready to harvest. So I jump into the new combine harvester and drive out to the field. It looks awesome, although the working width isn't very big. But that's okay, as long as it does the job well. The first bale is ready. And now the whole field is harvested. I unload everything that's left. I ended up with 21,000 units of cotton. I have no idea if that's a lot or a little, but we'll see. If I sell it right now, I'll get $135,000, which is not bad. But like I said, I want to process it into clothing. To set up production buildings, I'll need money. And since it's been a few months since I last sold any products, this is the perfect time to cash out. I grab the trailer and get to work, as always, selling lettuce, goat milk, and even lumber, since the sawmill has already processed almost all the wood. I earned $510,000 for the lettuce. Awesome. Now for the goat milk. I got $338,000 for the mill. The lumber from the sawmill is left. I earned $500,000 from the lumber. Great. All products are sold. Now I can start setting up the clothing production. First, I need to process the cotton into fabric. For that, I use a spinnery. It costs $180,000, so I buy it. Next, fabric needs to be turned into clothes. For that, I get a tailor shop, which costs $240,000. Done. Essentially, production is ready to go. I just need to bring in the cotton. While I'm driving, leave a comment telling me what you would do. Turn this cotton into clothes or just sell it as is. Done. Now, as always, we wait for the finished products. Now it's finally time to improve the farm's infrastructure a bit. Roads, lighting, and equipment storage. First, I'm turning old paths into good roads, since soon I'll need machinery that can't drive through mud. Plus, it will keep the equipment cleaner. Next, equipment storage. I have a lot of equipment now, and my small shed isn't enough. But first, I sell the equipment I don't use. Then I build a parking area for the gear. Also, I add a shed near the sawmill. And last, but definitely not least, lighting. I think no explanation is needed for why. Done. Just look at this. At the beginning, this was flat land with nothing but grass. Starting with these few tools, I've made all this. Now I've got a huge farm that grows stronger every month and brings in more and more profit. If you want to see the continuation, please like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Also, leave your suggestions for improving this farm or rate it in the comments. That way, I'll know you want the next part as soon as possible. That's all for now. This was Fizbee. See you in the next video.